Thank you, Your Worship. Thank you, Dave, for the presentation again. How much? Thanks for following up on this speeder reader board, because I've been asking about that in the futile attempts to get the provincial government or the federal government to step it up. So, how much did they say? Any reasonable amount for the quote for that?
$4,500.
$4,500. That's not bad, because I was checking into council initiatives earlier today, and we have $3,500 kicking around that I would almost make a motion to spend that and put that towards it and take another $1,000 and have that installed permanently, or a few locations permanently through Salmon Arm, and that might really make locals recognize how fast they're going on a place like Tank Hill in front of the new Jackson campus or the old Salmon Arm Senior Secondary or other areas to move, so people realize in certain areas how fast they are going.
There may be an opportunity with that, with the partnership with ICBC or something. They have done that for Citizen on Patrol and that, purchase those things as well, so there might be an opportunity there if we could look at it as well.
Yeah, that's great, because I think that would open a lot of eyes in our community, and some people here speak. And I'm really happy to hear about the increased traffic controls in the downtown area from Sticklers and Mellow. So essentially, when we went to the Union of British Columbia municipalities meetings and met with the Minister of Highways, Kevin Falcon, and Minister of Justice, is that his name? John Less?
Yes.
Solicitor General, or Attorney. Yeah, he basically said that good luck on that one, guys, and just start policing it and just ticket and ticket and ticket. So if we can keep up and just get eyes all day and watch them go through these lights, if we can keep that up, that's great, and give ourselves a reputation. No red lights. So.
Not turning off my phone, Dave. I did want to ask you about a couple things. I agree with Councillor Eliason that if that board is only $4,500, it makes sense, but I'd like to test it first. So if it's coming for us to try it out, and I'd be in favor of a portable one, not one that's put anywhere permanently. So I'd like to see how that works. I think it would be effective. I know I get very frustrated coming down that hill because I do my best to try to stay at only about 8 kilometers over the speed limit, and I get people passing me like they're doing double what I'm doing. And it's trucks, it's citizens of town, it's people that I want to chase and tell them to slow down. And enforcement, I agree with Councillor Eliason, is a great idea. I'd prefer to see more time spent on the red light, the intersections, than on seatbelts, because I've said this before, the only people that get hurt by not wearing seatbelts are the people in the vehicles themselves. They're not jeopardizing other people's safety, in my opinion. But I do have a question. I've heard of a lot more break and enters in retail businesses in the last little while. Is that way up recently?
Well, just in our commercial one, we had 9 in the month of October. But we've had a rash in the first 2 weeks of November as well.
Right.
So yes, we have had an increase, and our plainclothes unit is looking at those.
When you get something like that, is it usually one person, a group of people? Do you sometimes kind of know who it might be, and it's just a matter of catching them? I don't want you to give out any trade secrets here, but...
Yeah. Usually it's the same 2 or 3 people can come into a community, just raise havoc. And until we either get lucky or someone gives us some information that we can curtail those, then it goes for a while, and somebody else steps up to the plate and takes their spot there. So all we can do is, when they start happening, is try and put some resources to that, some dedicated guys to go out at night and see if they can find something or do something in regards to that. We have had occasions where people come out from other communities and we'll target the area over the weekend. It's not only just happening here, like out with Black Bay, we've seen an increase there in the last 2 or 3 weeks as well.
Councillor Campbell.
I was going to make a comment on reader boards, but I'll skip that. And the assaults, are they alcohol related, a lot of them?
Yes.
I think so. And then that's with the young people. Is that statistically increasing each year, do you think?
I don't know. We have, over the last little while, usually it comes to light when we see groups of kids getting into, or young adults, I shouldn't say kids, young adults, getting into more serious assaults and things like that. So well, we have the stabbing here in town, and there's, a group of kids involved with that. So we want to get to the bottom of that, and I'll hopefully lay charges very soon here. Resolve that. If we don't do anything about it, then I'm sure it'll continue to increase.
And
Those aren't
that's-
accountable.
That's young people here in town. Are you thinking that's linked to any gang-related incidents, or just young people at odds with each other?
There is a gang component here, and why exactly some of these assaults happen, we don't necessarily get the real story from both sides, or from the victim as well. Sometimes what they're telling us why it happened isn't exactly true. So there's drug issues involved with some of those assaults as well, or they're upset at each other, so it's not a random act. It's they have a history when these things happen. There are those that don't, but usually there is a history.
That one that was a knifing, that was that one that was that would fit under that, or what do they know?
We're still working on that.
Okay.
So,
Too specific a question. Thank you.
yes.
Mr. Ritson?
One question. I know we've had some residents in the community, both historically and recently, raise concerns of traffic enforcement of the transport truck coming down the hill, and with it being potentially misinstalled or illegally modified Jake brakes, or whatever you want to call them, engine suppressors. The other day, actually, oddly enough, on the other side of the attachment, and noticed a truck like that right in front of the attachment. Would the traffic enforcement officer have any ability to ticket somebody like that in that case, or is that more commercial vehicle inspection?
No, we're allowed to ticket for all those offenses as well. It's I guess, just looking at priorities.
Yeah,
We'll
no.
go by our detachment quite often.
Yeah.
You can't hear yourself think outside there.
Yeah, because I just noticed it, and it's thinking like, geez, too bad there wasn't a police car there right there at that moment, pulling up behind him, because it was quite noticeable, and I don't know where, in terms of with our talks with Ministry of Transportation, we've gone to in terms of putting up signage, again, asking people or truckers to do some of that. But again, you can't account for everybody again.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I did have one question. When we were working with the getting the skateboard part going, there were a lot of predictions of the increased levels of criminal activity where it's going to go. Have you experienced any of that now that it's been open for a month?
Not myself personally. I haven't asked the question, but I haven't seen some. I know I've fielded a couple of calls where people have called in about a certain something going on, but they're calling in like 3 days later. That's not good enough. You need to call in when it happens. I.e. people drinking down there. Well, it doesn't do me any good 3-4 days later. I need those calls while it's happening. And we don't give out names of who calls in, so if it's just a matter of individuals doing something illegal or inappropriate down there, the sooner we get those calls, the better, so we can make sure that inappropriate behaviors don't keep going.
Councilor Cannon?
I was just curious with the Sunwave Center, now that they've hired that private security for the Silver Valleys, are you guys getting less phone calls to come over there? Is it?
Our members still, I hope, are stopping in there even just because they have security there, but I think it's a lot better situation that they have somebody there that's controlling that, doing some patrols even outside and whatever, and being responsible to give that service there. I've talked to the person in charge of the security, and we've had a discussion about what our roles should be together. Basically, call us sooner than later if there's a problem or anything like that, but we should be working together to provide a safe place for people.
So the members that still drop by and walk through when there's a game, have they said that there's been?
I haven't heard of any problems.
Very much.
Thank you.
Next we have Chamber of Commerce, Kurt Grayston, annual report to council. Welcome to council.
Thanks very much, Your Worship. Councillors, thank you for the opportunity to come by and give you our annual report on Visitor Centre. We have a PowerPoint presentation as well.